You have to respect that. People out there got to respect that you got 30 years in the paint as police. If you take that flight from Florida to Logan and you run into the state police,
it's over. I'm telling you right now, it's over.
See what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
Let me tell you something right now. When it's hot down here and carrying that gun around, it sucks, but I'm carrying. I ain't fucking going anywhere without carrying. I can tell you right now. Ain't no one going to get the jump
now,
on
have
this
you got
right
now?
here.
Have you? With that being said, Sean, have you got pushback from Boston, from Massachusetts area, from the police, from that side?
No, not really. No, but let me tell you something. You never hear the bullet that gets you.
Ooh,
remember that one, bro.
No,
you never hear the bullet that gets you.
Never hear it coming, right, Sean?
You never hear it coming, man. One thing I'll tell you, I've talked to a lot of victims. Man, I never even knew. And all of a sudden they're bleeding out. You never hear the bullet. You never realize. So, buddy, they can listen. I know they're all down here. Half of them are retired. Jimmy stands right down the street here. I know exactly where he is. I did a little bird dog on him. He's a big mofo. I'll have to reload to get that big mofo. Ain't no one dead. No, let me tell you something. I walked the jungles of Peru. No one got the fucking big Irishman like me, and they all knew who I was. And I was putting people in jail all the time. God
damn.
Ain't no one going to get the jump on me. Never.
But let me segue into this. You know what she's going through. You are a DEA agent, right? Retired. But now let's talk about the jails. You've been to the penitentiaries, right? You know how dark it can get, right? And how dark it really is, right? You don't take this as a joke, right?
Of course not. Of course not.
Speak to that.
Well, I'll tell you right now. This is why we do what we do. This is why you reach over to the other side. Let me tell you something right now. This is kiddie games. Karen's up against it, no doubt. No doubt, right? She's never going to get convicted. Her end game is that the killers of her beloved boyfriend get taken out. And one other thing. I got into this because I knew she was factually innocent. I knew it. I saw it right then and there. It was easy. It was very easy. And I had a bunch of great sources in Canton that told me. Some of these people said they had grandmothers. Are you kidding me? I had cops within, right? They know who they were, right? They've been outed, but I'm never going to out them. I had cops within, some that will not be. But the bottom line is this. You can't go forward in life banging down people. You can't.
Right.
Now, if they come at you, then fuck it. It's over with. That's how I play the game, right? I'll give you as much rope as you want until I don't. And that's it. But, okay, for instance, right? I've been to all the jails you want. I've been to the most vicious, look it up, right? The most vicious jail in Lima, Peru, right? It was horrible, horrible. And I went into a guy that we took off, I don't know, like probably 3,000 kilos. We got him up in Chimbote. They put it out in the high seas, right? So he was a nice guy. Listen to me. I'm talking about a guy who's poisoning our system, our country, all right? But guess what? Other than that, the guy was a businessman, right? He was a multimillionaire. He could have been anything, but he chose that game. But guess what? I couldn't get on the other side unless I had him. And what are you going to do? I'm going to kill the guy and say, you mofo, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't do that. You don't crush a guy, right? He got caught. His life ended. So I had to go visit him. Man, I'll tell you right now, because of his money, he had a Ritz-Carlton cell. He could get puppy dogs. He could get pizza. He could get it. He had broads coming in. He had cell phones. He was probably still dealing. But these other poor bastards, oh, God, horrendous. 10, 15. In 15 by 15 cells. Horrible. Just all like fucking refugees. Oh, gringo, por favor. Ayúdame, por favor. That's what do you want me to do?
Flies on them.
I'm here to see the big cheese, bro. He can help you. Down in the Witsack in New York, right? And I had Buzzy Callahan, right? So I went there to interview him. Another guy. I would have made this case without him. He was one of the top guys in this case we did back in 1987, 88. The bottom line is this, real quick. I went there to interview him before we went and put him in the grand jury. I'm telling you, this is what we do. This is what big fucking Brian Higgins had to do, right? He went for his proffer, right? But he backed out. So I went to see Buzzy. He's in WITSEC. We protected him. He was on board. He was on the team. It was so intense. It was in a little room in the WITSEC, the witness protection part of this jail, right? Otis, New York, or something like that up there. I don't know. It's right off of whatever fucking highway off of 287, right? I'll get it for you. We went overtime. And the guards in that particular area forgot me and the assistant U.S. attorney. So we're talking to Buzzy. And he goes, man, you guys are fuck. Now, this assistant U.S. attorney was scared shitless to come with me. Scared. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it was shaking. I said, Kevin, relax, Kevin. This is going to be great. So anyways, Buzzy, he says, Sean, you're not going to believe this. You know who just came in? I said, who? He said, that black guy over there? I said, yeah, that's Nicky Bonds. I said, Mr. Untouchable? He said, yeah, Nicky, he's been here forever. The guy had the racket. I said, Buzzy, we're here. How the hell are we getting out of here? He said, I don't know. That's your problem. And I said to Kevin, now Kevin's sweating. He's a big guy. He is sweating. He's scared shitless. I said, well, now they're all the guys now. We had to come out. And we're in suits. All the inmates who are like under protection because they were, they did the right thing. You can't trust them. They kill you in a heartbeat. All these guys, murderers. Nicky Bonds, he was Mr. Untouchable. You got to watch this guy, Mr. Untouchable. Frank Lucas. Look at all those stories, right? Denzel Washington play. Nicky Bonds was Mr. Untouchable. They couldn't get him until the DEA did him. All right, there's the problem, right? But the bottom line is, we had to go through general population in our suits
just
into
to
the weird world. And I'll tell you right now, that poor assistant I was hoping something broke down. That would be a great story. Go out on a disability because I got to fucking brawl with all these yahoos in there. They're doing awesome. But no, you can't crush people. You can't, right? But I got into this solely because I believed absolutely 1,000,000% that Karen was absolutely framed. And I got it. I know it.
Well, Sean, look, can I ask you something real quick, Jay?
Absolutely.
Now, you say you got in because you knew Karen was innocent.
Yes.
You didn't get in this because of John O'Keefe? And
originally, of course.
Originally, right.
Because at the same time, I'm saying these mofos trampled on his spirit, his legacy, right? They did nothing for him. Zero. And then I said, you know something? We got to talk about John. We got to get justice for John. This is all about John. My thing was all about John, right? It had to be, right? I'm not too sure where his family sits today.
But
right?
let me ask you this, Sean. But
yeah.
what is the, so you're saying all this, right?
Yeah.
Let's be clear. You're saying all this. The reason, what is the take home point? The reason for saying all this? What is it? You tell me.
No. The overall take-home point is that she's never going to be convicted in Dedham Superior Court. Nothing will happen to Karen. No killers will be identified at that court, right? Unless there's a Perry Mason moment that Jackson or Yannetti or Eliza Little strips down a witness and they give it up. Highly unlikely that will happen because you got a corrupt judge. Let's face it, she has handcuffed him since day one.
Being a DEA agent, right? I think people know you as Sean on the golf, but I want to stay with you as a fucking DEA agent. And let's be clear, people, right? Guys like me don't talk to DEA agents, right?
Oh, man.
And right? Woo!
Oh,
I might get it. I
was nervous.
Listen, man.
No, if you have a free shot, take it.
Hey, listen. The Celtics won the 18th banner. We're talking sports when we talk to Sean. But listen, right? Talk sports. Here comes Sean. What I'm saying is, I don't think people realize he was a DEA agent. I know they do, but it's just now it's just like it gets brushed to the side, right?
Right.
People want to be known as what they're known for. Karen, she's a professor. The
successful woman.
Successful. Turtle Boy, the journalist, he's doing his thing. He exposed the case. He's got all these followers now. He's got a huge community. Props to him. But you're a DEA agent. Now, these type of investigations, when the feds are involved, how long can they take? How long have you seen an investigation like this or similar or parallel take?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now. Remember how I told you time worked against Karen with the investigation or the lack of investigation?
It
worked against her. The more time it took for them to plot and plant, that's a new thing, man. I'm going to say plot and plant, right? Now time works in Karen's favor. What does Kevin Plevin, what do you call him? Plevelin? Say it again.
We say Plevelin.
I like that.
Plevelin.
Oh, it's a corrupt system. They asked for more time. Of course they asked for more time. See, what Kevin and most of that side, I believe, don't understand, the Fed's got it all. They have all the tools. They have all the mechanisms they need. Look at Matthew Farwell. 3 years it took to slam dunk him, right? You don't think they had the information? They put that young rookie female agent to do that affidavit, right? You know why they do it that way, my friend? It's because they partition off. I'll tell you right now. I'll give you my honest assessment. This is a huge public corruption case. I know the Chelsea office over there by you guys, right, has a whole unit of public corruption agents, and they got TDY agents working on this case. So what they do is this. They had Birchmore from jump. They had Morrissey is #1 target and much more high and higher up. All right. Don't be confused on this. It's the big bluff, because that's what we do all the time. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, Jimmy Jackson, man, James.
Yeah.
You're my informant.
No. Take it back.
Hold on. No, hold on. Hypothetically, I tuned you up. All right, here you go. And you bought a quarter bag of heroin from fucking G over there, J.F.K, right? So here's the bottom line. How do I cover you? I say, confidential source 1001923 told me that James Jackson bought a quarter bag of heroin from JFK. Now, who is the informant? Not you. I gave it up. I said the confidential informant said,
you gave up a number
that Jackson bought a quarter bag of heroin from our man here.
Yeah. So you didn't give no one.
So when his attorney says, "Hey, JFK, who the fuck else was with you?" You're gonna say, knows? I don't know, man. That was so fucking long ago. I did all kinds of bags of heroin. I don't know.
Right.
Guess what? You don't think the FBI is playing those hokey dokey games? Trust me, I know. I've been in this playground, right, in the federal system for 28 years.
The district attorney plays those games.
They probably do.
So let me ask you this. So
yeah, go ahead.
So there's this guy.
They really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
Okay.
That's Hank Brennan, a.k.a. Beetlejuice, ladies and gentlemen. James, Hank Brennan thinks Whitey Bulge is not a rat.
Right.
He went to bat for Whitey to tell everybody Whitey Bulge is not a rat. He was even going to put Whitey Bulger on the stand, incriminate himself to explain how he wasn't a rat and how that's all a lie. If Hank Brennan thinks Whitey Bulge is not a rat, how could he think Karenread is guilty?
He can't. Now, first of all, I don't want to put too much shade on the guy, right? But the bottom line is this. Look at the way that fucker talks. I mean, come on. I mean, Whitey must have been fucking on cloud 9 when he got this guy. He should have had Reddington. He should have had Tony Cardinal. He should have had a lot of fucking guys. But this guy, Joe Prep, Hammer and Hank, come on. I call him Hammer and Hank.
Let me say this. He thinks Whitey Bulge is not a rat. But have you ever seen this? He was a prosecutor. Then he went to a defense attorney. Now he's back as a special prosecutor who has powers of the assistant district attorney. Have you ever seen anybody flip-flop like that in your career that goes from a prosecutor to defense back to a prosecutor? Is that something that happens?
It absolutely does happen. Of course, there's many examples of that. But here's the problem, right? He's finding out now. That he took on a bag of shit. And he's got to deal with it. He knows he's got to deal with it. He knows he's got to do it. He's not that. Listen, he might be a brilliant guy, but when you get shit in, you're going to get shit out. He knows. He knows he cannot win this case. I'm ecstatic that Karen and Aiden are back together. They started together way back when, right? He is 100% correct. He knows she's factually innocent. He knows it. He knows it. The problem is this. Nobody owns the story.
Nobody.
Because guess what?
Right.
They gave it to Natalie. There's no ownership.
And your thing was with Natalie was they should have kept her close because she knew too much. And when someone knows too much, you got to keep them cordial because they could turn around and spin the whole story against you. Is that what you were saying?
If James Jackson knows your personal secrets, are you going to slam him through the curb? Come on, bro.
No, you can't.
Come on, man. We're street guys. Come on.
No, you can't. Can't.
Listen.
You got to keep it cool. You got to keep it cordial.
I don't know what it is. I don't listen. He's in Southie now. I don't know. I'm not going to shit on him. All right. I'm not, because he did the story. He did the day-to-day story. He did. Okay. He went 60 days in the can. Okay. And he's got himself a serious problem. And I hope for him it works out fine.
Well, now, if the feds are involved in Karenread's case, right, why wouldn't they be involved to help Aiden out? Is that a thing?
It's a whole separate thing. Karenread is a victim of her civil rights being violated. Number
she's
one.
A witness, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's
she gets on the stand for the feds and say, listen, I never killed John. I never touched him. Oh, so you want to, I lost my train. One more second.
Go ahead.
They started a grand jury investigation on those mofos. Big bucks on that, right?
Now, how much something like that cost in the feds?
Oh, man. Before you get to the grand jury, that's usually at the end of things, right? You got to put the legwork, all those interviews, all those surveillances, the plane in the air. You think you're going to surveil Brian fucking Albert, the head of the funeral unit, with a fucking federal car? I don't give a shit if you have an IROC Z or a fucking Cadillac or whatever. You're not going to surveil. You're not. That's what I had. Back in the day, I had every IROC there was, every color. Trust me, there was no flies on me. You think you're gonna fucking surveil a guy like him? He's bird dog. He's doing heat runs like a motherfucker. He's out there doing heat runs. He's doing this. He's doing that. Right? You know how you do it? You get up in the air. FBI has it all. I'm telling you, they have all the tools, and they got their guys parked down in fucking down there, Cobb's Corner. A team down there. A team down at the hillside. They got a team down there by the Dunkin' Donuts off of Neponset Street going on tonight. They got the whole thing surrounded. And so all of a sudden the plane calls, okay, he's leaving. I got him. All right. Let the plane take it. The supervisor, let the plane. That's what I do. Let the plane take it. Don't burn this fucking surveillance. I will kill you, motherfucker. You burned the surveillance. And they did this day after day after day after day.
I want everybody to watch. This is a different angle. He says, come here to John, right? Now, look, he grabs his head. He becomes undone right here. Zoom into him. He's undone. Then he screams, right? Everybody looks. Everybody turned around and looked.
Look at the girl that Karen was talking to.
Karina turned around and looked. Everybody looks, right?
Yeah.
And he mouths something, right? And look, he tells John, he's looking at John. Now, watch this. Look who's walking around nervous as hell, doing this with her hair, don't know what to do, and she's looking right in the direction at the pimples.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at her.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
So that's Jenny Jen.
That's Jenny Jen, scared to death.
Nervous Nelly.
The criminal justice system has let us down at every turn. And yesterday was the final letdown.
A thing that
we had nothing to do with.
We hadn't came and told the truth. I'm not a Canton police officer. I'm a Boston police officer. There was nobody to save. I would have taken a bullet for John O'Keefe.
Immediately thought something had happened to one of her children or one of my children, because why else is she in my bedroom? It's 6:30 in the morning right now.
Was it at 6 a.m. or was it at 6:27 a.m.? How long to die in the cold? What's your answer?
She asked me to do it at outside of Fairview at 6:20, whatever it was. Doesn't matter how much I say about it, people will not believe it.
I go by the name of J.F.K. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you, and God bless.
And the second thing I want to say, and the second thing I want to say, and the second thing I want to say is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have, and my team.
I mean, you're a free woman now. You're not bound by anything.
Oh, no. As long as Michael Morrissey's in power, no.
So you gotta give it up. You gotta give it up. Sorry.
That's the Turtle Boy guy, right? The guy that was blogging about the whole thing. He's become this whole thing is quite a scene. These people showing up every day. Stand by with us.
Welcome to the JFK live stream. James Jackson, Kevy Kev 781. Karenread is free. Justice for John O'Keefe. The real killers are still on the street. Let's take it up to 39,000 feet. Disclaimer. Subscribe. Hit them like buttons. Long gamers. Let's go.